This video contains subject matter that is not suitable for all ages. Also, it's going to cover some pretty messed up topics like pedophilia, child grooming, and whatnot. Also, this video is made to spread awareness of the individual/topic in question. So I do not suggest that you go out and harass the people mentioned in this video. Otherwise, you're going to give them unnecessary attention, which would make this situation worse. I repeat, do not harass anyone mentioned in the video. Thank you. Oh boy. I do not want to make another video on this guy. But a lot of shit has happened since my last video on him. And, yeah, it's not for the better to say the least. So, let's go over what's been recently going on with this guy. But before I do, for those of you who are not in the know, I'll give you all the context. Blue Flamehead 101, real name Gail Kelly, is a 23-year-old YouTuber, VR chat user, and a former DeviantArt and Twitter user who was once a really good friend of mine, but has since derailed into a path of degeneracy and many other horrible things. During his time on the internet, he has gained a very noticeable reputation for being one of many things. For being a very reactive man-child who would do anything to save his pathetic hide, except for the basic act of taking accountability for his actions. Being a manipulator who would do anything to manipulate people into either giving him free art to cover up his own lack of talent, especially since he boasts about how he is a great artist and a voice actor. His only voice work is replicating impressions of other people's impressions of pre-existing characters. Sympathy, because of course he's gotta have his fair share of defenders, and of course, one of the more notable reasons why he manipulates people, porn. Inflation porn, or any other weird-ass fetish porn. Because of course this man is a massive porn addict. Why else did he do the things that he did, other than cheap satisfaction? When I originally caught him for having underage characters on his DeviantArt favorites, which, by the way, was 90% inflation porn, he apologized heavily and profusely. And yet, despite all of that apologizing, he never lived up to any of his promises and went back to adding underage characters on his DeviantArt. Fantastic. So, after seeing all this, I decided to be a little spy and decided to stick around pretending to be this guy's friend, just to gain more of that sweet, juicy info. And oh boy, the shit that I've gathered up is very interesting to say the least. From manipulating one of his friends into making an NSFW avatar of a lolly VTuber, to doing multiple fetish ERPs with multiple minors, one of them being another user he's been obsessing over this whole time, Black Sock Puppet. He even went as far as to make his own inflation porn of the kid, as well as another kid and another kid, despite that one being a Sting account. And not only is he a lolicon, he's a toddler con, because not only did he make inflation porn of a baby, but he also requested inflation porn of 2 toddler characters from another minor, while he was still on DeviantArt. Not only has he been caught for doing some really disgusting, deplorable, and unforgivable shit, but he doesn't like living up to his promises, especially when it comes to fixing his own behavior. When I called him out on these over and over again, he just says, "Nah, I don't care. It's all in the past. Jeez, Jasper, leave me alone." But only then, when his career is at stake and when all eyes are on him, then he starts apologizing profusely and promising to change and begs for forgiveness, only to go back to doing the shit that he apologized for. And so, that leads us to the present. Where are we now, and what has this guy been up to? So, it all started about 2 weeks ago. An anonymous source gave me some very vital information that Blue Flame has been approving of a 15-year-old making NSFW art for them. And I didn't want to post about this guy anymore, so I decided to pass over this information to my friends Omega and Sonic T Hedgehog. By the way, shout outs to these two, as well as all the other people who gave me the information. Thank you very much, guys. So, Blue Flame found out that he's been caught for sexually exploiting minors again. And he did not like that very much. Because September 27th of this year, he finally cracked. And he made a second account. Now, this second account didn't really come into the picture until Blue Flame started claiming that he got hacked, and that there are comments that he wouldn't make on his and Black Sox posts, despite said comments being shit that he would literally say, like, "Welcome to Inflation Island." That is low-key something that he would do. Considering that, again, it is common knowledge that this guy likes inflation. And it's been so common knowledge that Blue Flame decided to post his 2 Dust Bowl inflation videos on this second account. Now you may be asking, OSJ, why would Blue Flame be posting more inflation porn, especially of a minor that he knew was fake, and especially since he promised to stop doing inflation shit? Well, if you couldn't tell from earlier in this video, Blue Flame has a repeated pattern of not living up to his promises, especially when it comes to his shit-ass apologies. And Blue Flame probably wanted to reminisce of the greater days, back when he used to make inflation porn of minors, without a care in the world. But he couldn't do it on a public account, otherwise he'd get caught again and he'd get more hate. So he decided to do it on a second account. And he is hiding said account under the guise of a hacker or an imposter, despite the fact of him not bringing up said hacker or imposter the moment it started happening. Now, I've seen my fair share of vent posts from this guy, whether it is in response to controversy or in response to his friends not going along with his stupid role plays. Again, this guy is 23. But I never really thought that he would make an entire channel dedicated to venting his frustration on not only getting caught for being a creep, but to lash out at others for not accepting his degenerate behavior. And as if that wasn't obvious enough, one post truly got my attention. You ready? It is a post where he told me, my friends, and to an extent, my audience, to kill ourselves. And as at this point, where I realized that the stupid needs to be slapped out of him. So I was forced to join a couple of Discord VCs, where I literally tried to explain to Blue Flame that what he is doing is messed up and psychotic. But no, all I got was not genuine, intelligible responses, but literal childish insults that range from, "What you are saying makes no sense," to, "You sound stupid, and you're trying to sound like a smart aleck." I've also got my fair share of "that's all in the past." Quite arguably, one of the worst excuses to be used to defend shit like this, because 1, it is indeed not in the past. Sure, some of the terrible stuff might have happened either a lot of months or a full year ago, but that still doesn't erase what happened, considering that this is nothing but a part of repeated offenses. And I've also got my fair share of, "I've changed from this, I'm not doing this stuff anymore," when literally this second account proves otherwise. And it was mostly thanks to another user who was involved, Thursday Boy. He doesn't really serve that much purpose other than derailing the entire conversation, and at one point, as a counter argument, he posted drawn CP. Alright, let me repeat myself. Thursday Boy, a 19-year-old man, posted drawn CP as a counter-argument to defend his 23-year-old friend who is a confirmed child predator. Yeah, these people are a whole new level of retarded. So the Discord VCs didn't really go so well. In fact, all they did was make Blue Flame, and now one of his defenders, more guilty than they already are. So Blue Flame decides to finally post on his main channel saying that there is indeed an imposter going after him and that he is fully taking a break from doing anything. despite the fact that he is still posting comments on Black Sock's posts, which he shouldn't, by the way, since he's a 23-year-old man, and Black Sock has been known as one of his grooming victims. So, yeah, that's not looking good. Another one of them dead promises, eh, Blue Flame? And now he has gotten his friends to play along with the lie, since there are multiple comments by his other friends, including Pine, another 19-year-old, or I think he's 18, I don't fucking know, and Metashana, a 28-year-old woman, claiming that this account is not owned by Blue Flame when it clearly is, but it is owned by me. And guess what? They started claiming that all the other people who are against Blue Flame are also me. And so that leads us to the latest post from this second account. Blue Flame clearly showing blatant paranoia that I am everywhere and that I'm unavoidable or some shit. When in reality, I'm just one person. I'm just me, Oceansick Jasper. I'm not Omega, I'm not Sonic T, I am not your second account, and I am not all the other people who are clearly against you. I'm just one person, me. And you are not the innocent person in this case, Blue Flamehead 101, aka 23-year-old Gail Kelly. You are never the innocent one. You are always the guilty party in this. Because guess what? You are nothing but a manipulative and selfish pedophile who would do anything to either get free stuff, get his fix to satisfy his porn addiction, or to gain free sympathy just so you can continue to not only get away with your crimes, but to pose everything you do as some sort of heroic act or something that was made for jokes, when clearly it is made to gain sexual gratification because it's a part of your fetish. Because you think that you're some big hero who will save specifically women just so you can objectify them and make them your objects of satisfaction. You show no value for not only women, but for everyone around you. Not your critics, not your friends, and not even your family. You show no value for anyone. You only care about yourself. You didn't even show any value for me back when I was your friend. You only used me to get some free, cool channel art because you yourself know that you are a shit artist. And you never even cared when I was hurt by your recent decisions. You never cared for me at all. You only thought of me as a tool just to get you more followers and subscribers so you can be the best YouTuber known to man like Anime Bro Me, who are also child groomers. And now, since I've called you out on your actions and continuing to call you out on your actions, now you only think of me as some big bad villain like Bowser or Hell Heffalump or any of Black Sock's other shit characters. All because that you think that I can go down in one fatal swoop just because you pull out some stupid ass Gacha Club form on me? Well, guess what? This is not Gacha Club. This is not your little world where you win all the time. This is the real world. And in the real world, actions have consequences. And what you did has a whole lot of consequences that last a long fucking time. To the point where they're catching up to the present, even if they did happen a long time ago. In the real world, you are not the hero. And in this case, you were always the villain. Because you think that the world revolves around you. You think that you are the anime protagonist. When in reality, you are just a 23-year-old pedophile. My apologies for going off on that last part. But you guys have no idea how much this guy has been getting on my nerves and how much it pains me to see that he is still on the internet where he could very well gain a new fan base that he can manipulate. Now you may be saying, but OSJ, why can't you just ignore him and move on? And the thing is, I'm trying. I'm actually trying to move away from this guy. But every time I get too comfortable, he shows up again to do something scummy again. to the point where I had to step in again and remind him of his own past, or I guess at this point, his present, since he's still doing this shit. So I have a couple of final messages to some people. To Blue Flame's defenders and or friends. You do realize that you are defending a much more scummier person than who you think I am, all because that I'm going after your best friend. To the people who are watching this and supporting me throughout this whole thing, thank you very much. I don't think words can describe how grateful I am for your support. And to Blue Flamehead 101, 23-year-old Gail Kelly, my former friend and business partner. Why must you continue to do this? If I should move on, then you should move on as well, and actually try to improve as a person, since you like to claim that you are changing and trying to move away from this, when in reality, you are not, and you are indeed hell-bent on revenge, all because I had to pull you out of your sick fantasies of inflating children and women for your own gain. If I should move on, then you should effectively move on by packing your shit, deleting your accounts, and just giving up entirely. You can't save your reputation. No one can save your reputation. Not even the friends that you are still manipulating to this day. And you will only be remembered as another footnote of 2024, the year of the Predator.